finals, guys. Just so you know, we've got Santiago, El Fuego, Lil Fumi, whatever you want to call him, sitting in Grands waiting for the winner of this match. Weiners was the one to send Squid to losers in a 3-1 set in Winners semis. He was able to win 2 games on Squid's counterpick Dreamland. So I think Squid's going to have to put in a lot of work. Squid did win the first game on Battlefield last set, and I think that's going to be really important because we've talked about how strong the counterpicks are for both characters in this matchup. Especially that first counterpick. The second one, not quite as much. It's more even. But, you know, it's tough when you go down and your opponent gets to get that that preference pick for game 5. You don't want to make that. You don't want to start with that. Squid. This is the second time. I don't think I've seen him use this recently at all. It used to be like a huge staple of his game was this late nair shine early retreating nair. He's used that. He used it once in the winner set, and again he gets his first stock here with it.
It's a situation where he took Weiners off the stage, right?
Right. Yeah. He did approaching nair on shield. He shines, and then he does a retreating nair out, and the second nair is early, so it catches any option, but it's not risky because you're fading away as you do it, so it's very hard to punish, even though you don't have the active feint.
Hit with another move, yeah.
So it is kind of a day 1 Falco thing. That's like one of the first things you need to learn in terms of safe shield pressure, is to do that in and out real quick with the aerial shine aerial. But
that aerial drift is so powerful.
And it seems to be working to great effect here against Weiners so far. So I wonder if we'll continue to see it out of Squid, or if he's going to mix it up and look for some of that more advanced shield pressure as well.
I've seen that Squid's been mixing up his shielding really well when he comes in with his approaches, because he was able to get out of a possibly risky situation by, after approaching with his attach, just shielding, because he knew that Brown was just going to take advantage of the fact that he was in the frame disadvantage. Yeah,
and I think, I watched a lot of Mango at Royal Flush when he pulled out his Falco, and one of the things that I really noticed from Mango's play is in a lot of situations he'll go for that like aggressive approaching move, either like an approaching aerial or an approaching laser, but he'll instantly like shield or even just roll out of that play. Like he won't try to maintain that pressure if it doesn't work out, if he doesn't hit his opponent's shield or something. He'll just get out of dodge. And I think Squid's showing a little bit more of that here by shielding in those situations that you're talking about. I think it's really strong for Falco to be able to kind of keep up that pressure, but say, if you're not exactly frame perfect, I'm out of here before you can get any kind of damage on me.
It's about having that kind of restraint to kind of set yourself up for a more better situation almost.
Yeah, recognize when you aren't at the advantage anymore. At the first moment you've given up your advantage and you're back to more of a neutral game, and then you bail immediately, reset the neutral game, and then recreate an advantage for yourself. Falco, one of the best characters at creating advantages because he has so much tempo control with lasers and stuff, and because he has such huge hitboxes to play around with. So I think it's like a really strong use of the character. And Squid's able to find that double dip to take the first game with a clean 2-stock lead, 0% on those 2 stocks. So definitely something new, I guess, from Squid. I can't say exactly what it was that he did differently to kind of put Weiners on the ropes a little bit, but
I think it also helped that he just played against Caesar too. So
yeah, a little bit more warm-up time. I know they're different players. I know they have different play styles, but still.
Have the kind of the essentials in his mind right now,
and especially the combo game, right? It's sort of, that's one of the things with Falco, right? It doesn't matter what player you're playing. As soon as you get that first hit on the character, it's any other Marth, it's any other whoever, right? Ooh, he gets the shine.
He was able to get the SDI to not get hit by the second hit of the neutral air.
Yeah, in that case, it looked like it might have been like a downward to get below the second hit of the nair.
Down.
Yeah,
because the Marth was rising as well too, so it helped out really well.
Yeah, and there you kind of see the risk involved of using that nair is the hitbox is sort of high on the character, so your feet are sort of just dangling down there below you, totally unprotected, and you kind of just float down waiting to get hit, and that's
especially
what's good.
Because the move lasts so long too. That if Falco's able to just land right after the SDI, he's able to give any kind of response he wants, especially because Marth has such weak options coming from above.
And Falco loves that position as well because he can keep you in the air, right? He has shine, he has up tilt, he has so many great options to once you're up there. Yeah, and once you're up there, he's got these huge, scary hitboxes that put you back up there, keeping you in that same terrible position. Squid's
definitely looking a lot better this time around against Brandon.
Yeah, for sure. I think a big thing to talk about here is every stock so far in this set, Squid has lived to really high percents. Right now he's at 180. I think his first stock last set he was at like 174 when Weiners finally found the kill. So Squid really doing a great job of avoiding those big combo hits that lead to death. Ooh, oh, what an interesting trade.
He was able to get the wall spike because of the reverse hitbox.
And somehow he doesn't get spiked.
Exactly. Yeah.
In a lot of cases, the up B from Marth gets the spike and you're just dead.
It actually looked like he probably got hit by the backside of the backside of the up B, so that it allowed him to just go backwards instead of into the wall.
Yeah, so really lucky for Squid, honestly.
Wow, wow, Squid's doing extremely well this match.
Yeah, and again, 200%, right? Like that. As Marth, it's so painful. It's hard, right, once you get into those Marthitis percents, but it just hurts so bad to see your opponent at such a high percentage.
I think Squid's having a lot of restraint, just his overall set too, because he's been playing a lot more defensively. He's been playing a lot more, maybe not defensively, but definitely a lot more patiently. Right.
It's actually a lot like what we were talking about with Santi, where it's that that metered offense. He's still being aggressive. He's still putting on a lot of pressure, but he bails once that pressure is over. He doesn't try to force it. And I think that's something that he's really showing as very effective here. Now, this is a huge hill to climb for Weiners. Don't make no mistake. But if any character can do it, it's Marth against Falco on this stage, right? It's a couple grabs and that's it. But oh my God, he went from the prone state to the tumble state at just the right time, and it actually moved his hurtbox enough that the dare didn't hit him. Maybe it still wouldn't have, but it sure looked like it to me.
That's the crazy thing about Melee sometimes, because just slight changes of like what state your character's in can affect greatly where your hitbox position is, or your hurtbox position.
Yeah. And Squid's able to take that really second game as well.
Also two stock lead.
Yeah, and again, it was basically 0% or near it. So Squid really showing a different style this time around. One of the other things I'll mention here is that last stock, and a couple times throughout the set, we've seen Weiners get up to these high percentages as well. We talked about how much mileage Squid's getting out of that. But what Squid's doing a really great job of is once Weiners is at those high percents, he just keeps the pressure up. He's putting out those dangerous back airs that could kill at any time, and he's not going for like big committal options. So he's not paying the price of letting his opponent get to high percents, and instead he's just playing very methodical once he gets there, you know, taking his time getting to that kill.
I like how he was waiting kind of like a little bit patiently in that moment too. He didn't go just straight for a shine or a different just any other aerial option. He just kind of waited and decided that the nair would have been the best decision at that point too. I saw earlier when he was playing on Battlefield that he started off the match actually going straight down and then crouching. So I'm very interested to see what Squid was trying to possibly do maybe in this match or in other matches while he was what his crouch cancel will get him against Weiners.
Yeah, and we talked a lot about how Weiners is on the more aggressive side. He likes to go for a lot of those approaching fairs, approaching nairs, and those are the things that lose to crouch cancel at low percents. So maybe that's what Squid's reading and looking for there. Weiners finds the grab. This is going to be a huge combo. Oh, Squid uses that slide off DI. Kind of really tricky to use, and it can be covered by Marth if they're expecting it, but it's a great way to get out of these really scary combos.
Also a very fast option too, if you're not really expecting it.
Yeah, it looks super jarring, right? It's like all of a sudden the Falco's on the ground when you thought they were going to get popped up, and it looks really funny, and it's really, really strong. Squid's able to take... Oh no, Weiners lands on stage, and
a little bit of hesitation. Squid
gets the backwards hit of the back air, but he's able to clean it up without taking any more percent. Interesting to note, this is the deepest into his stocks that Squid's been all set. This Yoshi's pick, kind of restricting Squid's distance seems to, or space seems to be working out for Weiners.
And that was kind of uncharacteristic. Brandon just missing all those lasers. Didn't power shield any of them.
Yeah, I do agree with you that it's not something you see a lot from Weiners, but the other thing to note is that Squid was actually mixing up his fast fall timing. So the lasers were always low lasers, but one time...
All different heights.
They were a little bit different heights, and then also he's not necessarily dropping at the same time. So you float in that not fast fall location for a little bit longer and then drop and do it. And Squid, another 2-stock win, takes that set 3-0 looking commanding.
Definitely a very complete reversal from
what happened. That was a really, really impressive turnaround from Squid. I'll be really interested to hear what he thinks he did different there, because that, you know, from looking mildly lost at least in the winner set to showing that kind of commanding performance in the loser set was really, really impressive. Good stuff to Squid there. It looked really, really strong. Also good stuff to Weiners. You know, he got top 3 at this tournament, only behind Santiago and Squid, 2 ranked players. I don't know. Is Santi ranked right now, or was he inactive for the last period? I don't remember. Either way, it deserves to be ranked, like, or at the skill level to be ranked. Whether or not he was inactive last period is the only question. So good stuff to Weiners, you know, holding it down, keeping the from taking any bad losses, and also getting another good win on Squid, and looking very strong throughout the set, throughout the whole tournament.
Now so now he's coming up.
Yep, grand finals, Santi versus Squid. I'll be interested to see what character Santi chooses to go for. I believe they did play in ladder, and I also believe it was actually Falco Dittos. So I'll be curious to see if Santi goes for more Falco, or if he wants to try some of his other characters out.